Hello, everyone, and welcome to Answer the Call, a podcast with myself, SaltEMike, and Croncy, two Twitch streamers that talk Star Citizen and then open our Discord to you guys. So we talk about a certain subject. As you can see, the second crafting tech preview is probably going to be the highlight of today, but there was also a Star Citizen Live and a sneak peek with an interesting tag on it. So there's a couple things that we're going to talk about today. And yeah, if you guys are interested in the show, want to join us, we do have a Discord. You can type exclamation point Discord if you're watching on Twitch. It'll be linked in the description if you're watching on YouTube, and you can pop in and join the call. But like we always do at the beginning, we kind of see how everyone's doing in their normal life, kind of a little bit. And Croncy, what's up? What's going on? What you been up to?
Bro, I need a new car.
Oh,
It is
that's the
absolutely sucks.
worst.
Do not buy a Holden Trax. Oh, what was that? GM Trax, whatever it's called, not in Australia. This thing has been an absolute pain in my ass.
Wait,
For
you
the
bought
last
an
6
American car?
years. No. In Australia, it's called Holden. In America, the Holden isn't a brand. It's
Yeah, but it's an American company.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's GM.
Yeah,
It's all
don't
over
buy
the
American
world.
cars.
Oh,
Americans don't buy
buy
American.
Amazon, But yes,
No,
you're
no,
right.
no.
You're 100% right.
Americans don't buy American cars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolute worst. It has been super screwing us. And it has been super hot the last few weeks. Now the aircon doesn't work.
Oh,
The radiator's playing up. So,
pray
other
that the
than the
aircon
Star
is
Citizen
just
stuff,
you need
yeah.
to flush it because we live in Florida.
No, we've already taken it. It has to be like
Oh
fully replaced.
no.
So we're not doing that. We're just
Yeah.
we're gonna kind of try
Win-
to tough it out for the longest time.
Windows
And then,
down.
yeah, basically. So
Yeah.
non-Star Citizen related stuff has sucked the last few
Yep.
weeks. How
Yep.
about yourself?
Not too bad. I am on well, it sucks, but I'm on a
Yep.
diet. I was
Yep.
getting fat. I got my blood work done after my dad, had his cancer thing. And they were like, your cholesterol's high. You need to change your
Yeah.
diet and all this stuff. So I was like, okay. And you ever see me like drinking tea on this, all the time?
Sure.
The amount of sugar I put in that tea, guys, is ridiculous. Like we're talking this is how it goes. Ready? And that is not an
Actually,
exaggeration.
50% sugar. Yeah.
Yeah. My wife one time measured it. It was a quarter of a cup for, I don't know
Yep.
if that's a measurement that you guys use, but like that's insane. That's ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's nutty.
ridiculous. So we're cutting it out completely for the most part. I have like, I'll eat an apple and no added sugar to
Yeah, yep.
anything. And
That's rough.
the guys who watched my stream can attest that I literally was going through withdrawal. Like I was
Yeah.
fading and stuff like that on stream, and I would have like I have a tiny bit of fruit juice in some water just to
Yep.
like so I don't die.
Yep.
He's been cranky, somebody says in the chat. So yeah, it's been tough, but I am starting to feel better. I go for a walk twice a day now with the dog every day, so she has her problems with being outside. She's like scared, very, very skittish, very scared dog. So she's getting better with the walks and stuff too. Although the dog that attacked her tried again this week.
Yeah.
So, and the owner doesn't have a muzzle on the dog, doesn't have a good collar on the dog.
Yeah.
That was a scary one this week. Very, very scary. But yeah, that one we came out unscathed this time. But
okay.
Yeah. So outside of that, I mean, things are good. Most of my time has been playing Foxhole. My next, like, what can Star
this has
Citizen
been like
learn?
A week and a half now.
Yeah, dude.
That you've been jamming this.
It's so good. It's one of the best games I've ever played. The next what Star Citizen can learn from another video game is definitely going to be
Get some
Foxhole.
Foxhole stuff.
Yeah, we'll
Would it
talk
be
about
like
it when we talk
the-
about SCL. Actually, I think a little bit.
All right, cool, sweet. All right, I'll wait for them then because
That's
sweet,
like the best
awesome.
example, I think.
All right, very cool.
But yeah, it's amazing. Been playing with an Eve streamer, Zapando, and just doing cool stuff. So yeah,
very nice.
Want to get into the SC stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to
What do you
start with
want
the
to start with? There's so
crafting? Do
many
you want to
things.
start with SCL and like get it out of the way? Good stuff
Let's do
first.
SEL
Okay.
because I completely missed SEL because of the Atmo event.
Okay.
And so I am ready to be expositioned at and to be told all of the amazing things that are definitely coming in the next patch. Full full feature everything. What do we
Okay.
got, Mike?
We'll stick to like the biggest highlights.
Okay.
Cargo Manifest is going to be a
hmm
thing in some way, shape, or form. There's going to be like a screen or a panel or something that you
hmm
get a general idea of what's on your ship. Whatever the first iteration they're going to do of it is not what they actually
management, like
want.
cargo management, where it actually tells you everything.
It just tells you what you have. Somebody asked
Okay.
about that and they said, well, we are doing that. And then Torsten looked over to Elliot and was like, it's because of something you're doing. And then they were being really coy about what it is. It seemed very obvious to me. It was the end of CitizenCon, the whole you're going to have to refuel and repair and rearm ships on your ship.
Right.
But he may not know that they communicated that. Because Jared was like, it's not a secret.
Which has happened before. In SEL, that happens a lot, right?
Yeah, Jared literally said, it's not a secret. But Torsten didn't want to say it. Torsten's, of all the devs that I have interacted with, two of them absolutely hate leaks. Torsten is one of them. Like, I don't think he's expressed this, but I will use what the other dev said. Because Torsten doesn't express much at all. Which is great. We never talk about anything that's coming in the game. We only talk about like feedback on something if we do, and we don't talk much at all. But the other dev that I talked about, it was just like, just imagine how that developer feels when something is leaked and the it's not done, and then all this conversation around it is happening when this thing is not done. That is actively happening with Evo right now. So he was like very coy about it, and it was weird. We'll see whatever that is in the future. Then they talk about refining a little bit, and they want ship and station refining to be the same, which I thought was very odd. And then even Torsten went, the only difference is when you refine at a station, it's done by an NPC. And he kind of like went like this, like maybe it was sinking in that doesn't make any sense. Like that there should be some differences between the two. Don't know.
It makes it,
but they talk no
like
details.
It's not very
again.
hands-on, right? Like
exactly.
If they're going to be the same, then is it just going to be button press? That's it.
Well, we know that they talked about refining as a crafting blueprint, a refining blueprint.
Yeah.
So who knows? Yeah. So I think you're probably right. It's not very hands-on. Which the original refining, what would it be called? Like thing that the post that they made, you could probably still find it on RSI, was very much hands-on. Like, oh, we're putting in catalysts and we're doing this, and
that's right. Yeah. Essentially, we were going to be determining how the different refining methods were working.
Correct. This was mentioned in SCL and in the patch notes for Evo. Refining at some point will factor into quality. There's something we talked about a couple times. It will either maintain your quality or improve it. Who knows how or why? Again, they gave no details. They want to do plans to have reputation be a thing in missions and reputation-based rewards. Those are non-existent, except for in the Evocati tech preview. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did see some people chat in the world that like you can get blueprints from doing some missions at the moment.
Yes, so maybe that's coming sooner than we think.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a very long risk and reward discussion, and it got heated between the backers and the people in chat and the devs that were talking there. They basically were saying, hey, it's always there's always going to be a possibility of it no matter where you are, for the most part, but we want to do all this security stuff, but we didn't do it. And then somebody in the chat said actions, not words. Jared got super defensive and was like, look at the last 3 years of what we did and all this stuff. My response to that is, you've done nothing to solve this problem in the last 3 years. I found the patch notes 3.11 5 years ago, where they
Mhm.
had the heat system. Remember that? Where, like, if you attack at a station, it'll spawn NPCs and it'll
Yeah, yeah.
eventually escalate up to an Idris.
Yep.
That never worked. That was the last time they really made an attempt at this. So I can look at the last 3 years and know
Mhm.
that you did nothing to solve this problem. So the backer who said actions, not words, does not deserve
Yep.
the the way he was spoken to, and
Mhm.
and everybody who backs this game deserves more than what
Yeah.
you've done so far on that subject. I get it,
Mhm.
priorities, blah 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 blah. I don't know how this isn't a priority, but hey,
Yeah.
um, we are going, and the design is done. They're waiting for an engineer to do it.
Mhm.
You're going to be able to manipulate box sizes, make them smaller, make them bigger. When? No idea, but
Yeah.
there's that. They are actively working on refueling missions because
Mhm.
they are selling a new refueling ship. Not because we need them, not because it's fun, because they're selling a new refueling ship. Um, yeah,
Did they that's like a new revealed thing, right? Because they hadn't
correct.
said that before, I assume.
Nope, Jared just said it because he doesn't give a shit anymore, and he just said it and was like, "Okay,
But
cool."
also
Yeah, it'll be like a starter or medium refueler instead of the Starfarer. And there's more to
who
this. So while you're
but who
debating,
cares about the ship? Yeah, well tell me about the more to this, because my first thought is not necessarily about how refueling is broken. It's more about how refueling sucks and no one wants to do it ever.
yes, because there's
Which,
no.
to be fair, could also be partially because
Well,
it's
here you
broken
go.
all the time. But
Here's the here's the reasons to do it. There's going to be two
okay.
types of missions. One
Yep.
where an NPC refuels you when you run out,
Yep.
and one where you refuel an NPC.
Okay.
So there's going to be reasons to use it.
Okay.
If we have these reputation-based rewards, now there's a reason to grind those missions, blah 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 blah. So there's your reasons.
Hmm.
And then Elliot DM'd me because they didn't touch
Yep.
on it in the show and said I can repeat this. So I'm not
Mhm.
leaking anything. Um, that's more of a stopgap until they get the service beacon stuff going again.
But I assume but they still want that to be a part of the game, I would
The
imagine.
missions will still be a thing, but they won't be the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
even Torsten like leaned over to Elliot and they were like, "But we really want the player to player to be like a viable thing that people do," and they were like, "Yeah." So okay,
I still think they're gonna have a lot of resistance making the game, like, making people want to do that in a play session.
because
It's just like,
because making people want to do that means that you run out of fuel and you get left stranded
yes,
more than you're
yeah,
gonna want to be.
and that is, it's so different to any of the other games. Like Elite Dangerous is obviously the big one that comes up all the time
Yeah,
with refueling, right? With the fuel rats being this very cool thing, but ships can refuel themselves really easily, and it's just like occasionally, very occasionally, you accidentally get yourself caught out,
yeah,
right? But if it's historically the way that refueling has worked, or at least the fuel consumption has worked in this game so far, has just been kind of more like hunger and thirst. It's just a timer almost that's just, hey, go press button now.
yeah,
So
exactly. And there's an
yeah,
easy way to get the fuel. Now,
yeah,
Martinson in Twitch chat says, "What about refueling stations? Did you ask Elliot about that?" I didn't ask him about it, but I just
hmm,
mentioned it. But no
yeah,
comment. He made no comment on that. And even if he did, I probably couldn't tell you about it. But that's what I want to talk about next. After playing Foxhole,
hmm,
that's like the logistics in Foxhole is, it's very similar to like Eve where everything is made by the players. Okay, whatever. That may not be a
yes,
thing in Star Citizen. But hear me out, folks. One of the really cool things is when you're like making a push and there's like a front in Foxhole, like where you're fighting, there'll
hmm,
be like a list of things that they're calling out that they need. Hey, we need shirts so we can respawn. We need fuel so we can do this. We need build mats so we can build things. And
hmm,
how cool would it be if when you wave your mouse over on the star map of Evers Harbor, you could see how much fuel was there. And the price would vary,
Mm.
the pay would vary if it was low or if it was high. It didn't need to
Yeah.
spawn a mission. You could just look at it. That's a sandbox game. And then
Yep.
you go and get it. They did mention fuel scooping. Correct me if I'm wrong or not. I didn't put this in the. I'm looking at my weekend review script. I forgot to put it in there. There was some
Mhm.
mention of scooping as well. So like, who knows, that might be a thing, which would be cool. But like, supply, and the thing is like, people who live around
I've got
Hurston.
it. Fuel siphoning is not a focus. The focus is on scooping gas from clouds and atmospheres, then
Yeah,
refining it into fuel. Yep.
yeah. So like, that being a thing is, first mention of that in a while, so just worth pointing out.
Yeah.
But how cool would it be if like people who live around Hurston are like, hey, we're running low on fuel here, guys. Does anybody want to bring it to us? And it's like,
Yep.
everybody working together. The game, they've built a beautiful game world, but their game world doesn't feel alive because the NPCs do everything.
Yeah.
If we were to us taking part in it is what enhances that immersion and makes it feel alive. They can have all the NPCs flying around that they want. They can have them talking at the stations, but we all know they're NPCs. That's not
Yeah.
immersion, right? Immersion is when you do it. Is
Mhm.
it because then you feel a part of it. So that's like the thing that I was like, wow, this is so cool in Foxhole. Like making a bunch of concrete, bringing it, and then
Mhm.
watching everybody create concrete structures around you is like,
Yeah.
whoa, that was sick. Or
I would.
people are constantly like, you have to refuel at seaports, and
Yeah.
people like make refueling spots for you there, and it's all done by the
Mhm.
players. So we won't do it ourselves entirely, but if we could do part of it, I think that's like the
Yeah.
easy win for refueling, and it doesn't involve any NPCs then, which is
Yeah.
sounds easier to me and sounds way
Well,
better.
yeah. It would be a very cool thing if they could add to, let's say, like the star map in this situation, and you can even make it if you want to be like sort of the Eve route of like just not giving everyone all the information all the time, no matter the distance. You can just make it system wide,
Yep.
where if you look at a station, you get like the major commodities, which would be your repair, whatever
Yeah.
paste,
RMC,
your fuel.
ammunition,
Yeah,
fuel.
exactly, right. And just get a almost like a commodity price alert
Yep.
type thing on like this is what the station is purchasing it for, and this is what it's providing it for, right?
That would be the most
And then let us
satisfying
manipulate that.
refueling loop for me.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
these
that'd be
missions.
a really cool way to add it, I think.
These missions don't feel as impactful and meaningful and fun to me the way they were described.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was that. Then there was just like quick things that I pointed out. They would like to do SRV missions, but they're not possible right now because there might be exploits. So they want to work those out. They want missions to be created when a ship explodes for salvaging, but that also just sounded like plans, something that they wanted to do.
That's something they've said forever. Is
Yeah.
that they wanted like a dynamic salvage missions to appear, basically.
Yep. A clear buffer button for your salvage buffers, because sometimes you get stuck with like a tiny little bit that you may not want. And then you can't fill up on construction materials because you have a little bit of RMC left. That is a thing that's coming at some point. Something that they talked about. Courier missions are coming, as well as delivery missions. They're going to be two different things. Courier missions, the little boxes that you hold in your hands. Delivery missions are between 1 and 6 SCU. And they want to bring back racing, but they point out all of the flaws with racing missions where they would really like for you to be able to respawn there, spawn your ships. When they do bring them back, it's going to be fully enclosed in that experience. And they address the fact that the moth will not be fixed until 4.7. Jared just goes, some things can't be done with a hotfix. And it's true. If you have to change a file on our computer, it cannot be done with a hotfix. That's how that works. CIG is not going to release a patch to. They're not going to do a 4.7.1. They're not going to do a 4.6.1. They're going to do a 4.7. That's what they do.
Yeah.
You can
it can't be
them.
fixed with a.
Thank
Thank you for the 20 gifted subs from the person in chat. What the hell?
Yeah. Somebody just gifted Croncy a bunch of subs. He wasn't sure if he could thank them.
Hell.
20 gifted subs. We can
20
stop.
Gifted. Come on, YouTube. Hurry up. What's going on?
Yeah.
No, thank you so much. I'll do a proper thank you to tomorrow. Uh, and now I've lost my train of thought.
I was talking about the moth and how like they have
That's
to
right. Yeah,
wait.
yeah. You can't like just fix it with a hot fix, but you can not release it,
Yeah, exactly. So that's
right?
the yeah. So we can't get mad at them for that, but he chose his words in that way and never mentioned the fact that it was not put in the PTU. He's the marketing
Yeah.
guy. This likely could have been his decision that we don't want to
Mm,
release ships into the PTU because it does hurt the hype. And the hype
yeah.
of I drop my video and then the ship is for sale. Like there's no doubt that that's hype, right? That is. So
Yeah.
they may have to reconsider doing that if they can't do the ships right without us.
Yeah.
If
I
you
agree.
fire all your Q&A like QA people that you did like years
Hmm.
ago and use us as your free ones, you may have
Yep.
to use us, guy. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
because that's just what happened. And yeah, and that's all. That was SCL. So there was quite a bit
Yep.
of like things to run down, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to go back through it, especially because like
It was only an hour or two, and
yeah,
the
yeah.
first
And
15 minutes they
anytime
were just
it's
farting around.
these are some of the devs that I like hearing from because there's often not a lot of censoring of their work, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like it's they say they're working on a thing and then we end up seeing it 3 months later. So
Yep.
um yeah, yeah, kind of works that way. So
Yeah, we might see it. So I guess the next
yeah.
thing that would be make sense to go over, and sorry for never switching to this scene, guys. To show you like SCL
I,
or something. But sneak peek. The only
yeah.
interesting thing here is what, to me at least, was the caption. What lies within was the caption.
Um and the answer is probably more mold. Uh
Probably a
because
creature.
this is
That's what I
presumably
think.
municipal works once again.
Well,
Uh
my guess is there might be a new creature there that we haven't seen.
yeah. Oh, please don't be
Cameras.
another snake. The snakes are cool, but please don't.
Please don't be another
Like
snake
something
or a
different.
dog. Be a cat.
Yeah, pyro crab. Give us our first pyro crab
Yeah,
in mix.
perhaps.
I don't know. I don't know. So it just it's something a little different. They've been very cool animals, but it's nice to get a bit of variety.
Yeah.
Um, Still keen on this. Do we reckon? Because I think we have a bit of a better understanding what's coming in 4.7 now, and how I'm going to lose the bet. But
You still might not. Craft. I mean, we're still in tech preview. We didn't
I,
even go to
I don't know.
4.7 PTU yet. So
I don't know. I don't know. But I was assuming we were going to get Rock Breaker in 4.7, but I'm starting to think maybe they do this first.
no, because instancing is this requires instancing. This was also instance content,
Sure.
so it's going to be Rockbreaker, and
Yeah.
Rockbreaker's on the roadmap, and this isn't.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah,
Yeah, I forgot the locations on my map. All right, fair.
yeah. Don't even think about
Maybe
this
still a
stuff.
little
They're
while.
just going to slowly sneak peek it out when they don't have anything, probably, because the location people are building the location, but the tech isn't there to do what they want to do.
Yeah, yep.
This
Yep,
could
fair
even
enough.
be Rockbreaker, potentially.
It could. I think
It could
the
be.
no, yeah, it still could. The caption still makes sense for like what lies within. Since the answer is money.
Yeah.
Uh,
What
yeah,
what lies
maybe.
within the rock too? It could mean. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it could go either way. It's certainly one of those two.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll see where that goes. Uh,
Sure.
I want to talk about the Atmo event next,
Let's do it.
because I mentioned that I was at the Atmo event, and so I didn't get to watch SCL. I only got to participate in Evo for the last hour and a half, though I am happy that they made it not time gated. So I actually finally got to check out crafting and inventory, which we'll get to later. Enter Atmosphere happened in Sydney, in my hometown, this past weekend. It was very cool. Over 500 people rocked up for essentially a big bar citizen, plus what we were hoping to be a great showcase of Star Citizen esports, which we did get to do some awesome racing, and then we unfortunately did not get to do some PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got big Star Citizen. I was ready and setting up, and then we got Star Citizen. So It was a good weekend overall. Very, very cool. We got a lot of viewers of the podcast came and said hi. So thanks for rocking up and saying hi and everything, guys. It was very cool. We had a panel with Chris, Sandy, and Xylo. Not much revealed during the course of the panel, except for Squadron 42 is going to have VR,
Yep. There's
which is
one
kind of
other
cool.
thing too. Can't remember.
Confirmation that social tools are coming soon.
Yep,
Well,
that was
sorry,
the
are
thing.
being worked on is probably the more accurate description. But we kind of already knew that it was all but confirmed. It feels like recently. Um, my big takeaway. Oh, sorry, I did send you a screenshot, but you can also probably just find it there in some of the previews. Neo Fox is by far the best Star Citizen content commentator in the game.
Is that this
He
guy?
is also this this shot on camera every time is crazy.
Guys, just so you know, this would be the shot on camera if we were live. Oh no, did Croncy fall out? Yeah, he's frozen. Croncy, you there? Oh, yep, he's gone. Hopefully he comes back. Yep, are you back?
I'm back.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
It was perfect freeze. I was just saying to everybody, this would be if the podcast was live with you and I.
Yeah.
This is what it would look like. He's probably the same height as me. Because how tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
6'3". I might be a little taller than him, but not by much.
But yeah, no one believed. Everyone who's seen me at CitizenCon has believed now, like how tall I am. But no one else has believed. And all of the chats were talking about how tall I was. Someone was like, "Why does the larger human simply not eat the smaller human stuff?" So that was very funny. But Cyberfox by far best commentator Star Citizen. Let's absolutely go. And so the event overall very, very fun. Very cool to see everyone. There was like a meet and greet and stuff with Chris and Sandy and Xylo. Very important. They have not been to Australia since 2014.
Yeah.
So a solid almost 12 years, because I think it was like late 2014. Almost 12 years without them coming to Australia, and they finally come, and it was awesome. And my big takeaway from the entire weekend was sort of two things. One, they loved the event and the location. Oh, hey, I'm in the background there.
Yeah. I was like, there he is. I see him.
Yeah. That was me setting up, and then things not working 30 minutes later. It was working. Oh, okay. It was working during the panel. As we were getting ready during the panel, it was working. And then the second the panel finished,
just
stopped
went,
working.
We're done.
It was the worst. Anyway, they're keen to come back, but there was multiple mutterings, both to people who were like picking up some of like the giveaway prizes at the end, and people speaking to Xylo and stuff about like, oh, you know, when we do our Squadron 42 release parties and stuff, which we're organizing now, we need to you know, consider like places like this, which super grain of salt. Sounds like they still think they're on track for this.
That's why she went, because okay, Sandy mentioned going to the LA place that like the esports place in LA. Where like I don't know. I used to watch like OTK streamer content, and they would do their like game show thing there, and that's what, because she had casually mentioned going to visit there, and I was like, oh, it didn't put two and two together. Now it makes sense. I was like, they're not doing CitizenCon again there. They're gonna always do CitizenCon in Manchester, I think now, but releases for when Squadron, you got to go around the world, obviously.
Yeah, typically you do, right? Like, so once again, I work at Fortress. We host release parties for tons of different games. We've got World of Warcraft Midnight. We had the most recent Assassin's Creed, both the most recent COD and the most recent Battlefield, and then they would also host them, you know, elsewhere in Europe. And,
of course,
blah, blah, blah. So,
they just hit the big, you know. Yeah, this is in Sydney, right? So big city.
Yeah, this is in Sydney. And in Australia, you do typically Sydney or Melbourne, and we have locations in both. So it was just, my big takeaway was like they certainly seem still confident
Okay.
that it's happening this year. That was definitely the vibe that I was getting. But um, I mean, when is Chris ever not confident? Wrong, but confident.
Yeah. Dude, I watched a crazy clip of Astropub yesterday
Yeah.
that he said that I don't know how old it was, and maybe it was super old. So I don't know, even know if I should
Hmm.
say this, but it was just linked in my Discord where he had just talked to somebody who was working on Squadron and was just saying shit about it. Like, oh, like holy
Yeah.
crap. They were saying like you could play through the whole thing, but it was just buggy or something. I don't know if it was like a super old
Mm,
clip to like where Xylo said I've played through the whole thing, that meme that
yeah.
people
Yeah.
always shit on him for, but yeah. Yeah, it was just like unstable. I don't know how new the clip was though.
Interesting.
Oh,
The last
the
thing I'll
clip was
mention
from
is
yesterday.
they.
So yeah, it's like
Oh,
a thing where
well, there
somebody
you go.
told him something and he just repeated it. Where it's like, holy shit, dude. I would never repeat
I
that
love it.
shit if I knew it. But yeah, go ahead.
The last thing I'll mention is that if any of you people are like esports fans for Star Citizen, these kinds of events, based on what Xylo was saying and stuff, like Chris loves these, right? He's obsessed with them.
Yeah.
Based on these kinds of events, it sounds like the next ones that run will have like dedicated CIG server staff to sort of skirt a lot of those issues so that they're not a
Mm,
problem, right? So hopefully in future, because this was one of the best productions we had, and then we just got Star Citizen, and so next time, that's the problem to solve, is to not get Star Citizen.
yeah, just bring your own dedicated server. I'm assuming you
Basically,
can
yeah.
run Arena Commander on not an insane machine that maybe you could bring with you.
Well, you definitely can, because that's what we did in LA.
Okay.
Because so private lobbies didn't exist yet, but we had Duncan had like, because he was really excited to do it as well. He had like essentially made private lobbies really janky for the event, and then it was run privately.
Got it. So I'm assuming the thought process here was like we have Arena Commander custom lobbies. We don't need um any support
Yeah,
or anything like that. And
yeah, but
unfortunately, it was like the worst timing, literally the worst timing
yeah,
ever. Like YouTube
yeah,
went down at the same time, guys. Like this wasn't a Star Citizen problem. Like you
yeah,
keep
yeah.
saying Star Citizen, YouTube went down. This was like a giant outage across the
Everything went
world.
down. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
So
it just was horrible timing. And Steam, yeah,
yeah,
like everything.
yeah,
So that just sucks. That's feel bad. But and then apparently like CIG was getting DDoS the whole day as well, which is just great.
yeah.
So yeah. Uh I had fun watching this. I watched all this.
Mm,
They seemed like they were having a good time. The show
mhm.
is like super cool production. Like I even showed a little bit at the beginning with the the characters with their helmets and stuff, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
interviews with guys. It's you are reminded of the
That's how.
average age of a Star Citizen
Oh
backer
yeah.
through all these
Not just that.
interviews.
I think even then the Australian community once again skews older. like
Okay,
like again over. It's.
you bring the
I
average
may have
age
been the
down to
youngest. Well, sorry.
65.
Other than the PvP players we had with us, I may have been the youngest person there the
Yeah,
entire weekend.
yeah. All these guys were into racing and mining. All the older guys.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Um, yeah, that was cool.
This is
I
why
had a
we got to
good
bring
time.
those Fortnite kids in. Got to get them in.
Exactly. All right,
So yeah, good time.
crafting tech preview.
Yeah, let's do it. So while we were busy getting drunk, the crafting tech preview went up. And this time, not time gated. Lots more opportunities for people to jam. And with a lot of changes as well.
Hmm. Yeah. So, what was the biggest one for you? What did you like the most?
The
I've talked a
I don't know
lot
if I
about this.
liked
I want
the
to hear what
most
you think.
yet. The biggest impact is the mining change. Like
Which one?
the two combinations, the
Okay.
scanning changes
Yep.
and the just the fact that rocks are one mineral now,
Yeah.
right?
So,
I don't
but
know if I like it yet though. I need to I need to spend like way more time doing it before I can decide if I like this over the previous system. Because there was something that I really enjoyed more about the idea, probably less in practice, of like mineral A plus mineral B, and mineral A plus mineral C means like different resistances, different instabilities and stuff. So because that's now simplified because of that.
Yes.
But that might still be better. You know, it's hard for me to gauge yet.
I can already, you won't be able to gauge it anyway because of other issues. As in,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of, like, across the board, the amount of SU of resources within rocks has been reduced. And the more valuable the resource, the less that will be in there. So things like rhycite will have like 1%, and then 99% will be inert. It's weird. There's also mention somewhere in here about the amount of inert, as of right now, the amount of inert material within rocks is considerably higher than we will release with.
Okay.
Which means you will have less stuff, but it won't be 1% inert and 99%.
Yeah.
That's just cringe. So I love all this. Number one, a cluster of rocks is one material. So if you find a single iron rock in a cluster, all of those rocks will have iron, and they will only have one material. It won't be iron and quantanium. It won't be iron and tungsten. It'll just be iron. The best part about that is you can, when you ping, and you used to see granite and obsidian, and then you had to scan every rock to find out, oh, I hope this one has quantanium in it. Nope.
Yeah.
You find out from a distance that that's iron, and you don't want iron today, skip, go to the next one. So the amount of time you're spending looking for a rock went down significantly, which is awesome.
Yeah, 100%. That was one of the biggest things that
That's like, my number one.
That is for sure better. The actual searching for the rocks is so much better because of that.
That's my number one. My number two is that there's one rock. I think that's also quite cool. Yeah. But to your concern, it doesn't seem very challenging right now, considering the ton of inert is probably reducing the challenge, and they may need to dial up the feeling that individual minerals give. So like really small green zones for like a beryl, really unstable for a quantanium, things like that, so you feel the challenge, and that, and
but
then
also so that you bother to like change your modules and stuff on your
not only change
your mining stuff, right?
Yeah, like that's the thing, because you mentioned it, but like I can look at it from the other perspective of, I know I'm going out to mine quantanium, so everything that I bring with me reduces instability.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever else it does. And I'm countering that specific one because that's what I'm looking for. My second favorite change is on the star map. Remember how they started listing everything, but in live, it's like every rock possible is at every planet? Nope. There's between like 2 to 5 rocks on every planet surface. Now, in the PTU, not everything is correct. Like, I could not find, most people could not find aslatite, or whatever.
I
you had to find it in an asteroid belt.
It's like all, it's like all in the halo. Apparently, it's everywhere in the halo.
Just asteroid belts in
general.
In general, because asteroid belts do not have that distribution change. It's still the old way across the board. Everything is there, and even more so. But there's ice on planet surfaces of like cold planets, and it's like, oh, this makes sense. And like whatever would be hot materials are on hot ones, and it's cool. Janolite is going to be on the surface of planets as well. I did not find any, but on some planets and moons, it'll say Janolite, and then on the ones that are in caves only, we'll say Janolite caves only. So yeah, but
I just want to really quickly address a comment on YouTube, which is, if it's only one material, what's the point of refining? The whole point of refining is to remove impurities and get to that high quality 1,000-turn material. So the refining apparently will involve us making those lesser pure minerals better. Yeah,
so they didn't give any details, but they said this specifically. refining could or would or will maintain or increase the quality of the material.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Refining as we know it, I should have said it this way because this is exactly what they said. Refining as we know it today is going to be completely gone. It's going to be entirely different, was kind of
Yeah.
what they were
Which
communicating. It's a
it
very
kind of
big
has to be
change.
because of the change.
Yeah. So that's why you're going to refine.
Mm-hmm.
They even said, yeah, in an upcoming patch. Okay, yeah. A note on this, since concerns were raised previously, the new refining flow in later releases will introduce uses for low quality materials with the crafting loop.
Yeah.
Whatever that means,
Wait,
too.
so speaking of qualities of minerals, so I went searching with just the goal of, if I find anything above 500, I'm gonna go for it. I really struggled to find anything above 500.
Well, yeah,
Um,
that's
uh,
said here. The previous test had much higher chances
okay.
of finding high quality materials due to its limited time frame and the desire to
Yep.
test items with high quality stats. These new values are to gather data on the frequency in which a high quality
Yeah.
mineable is found in every X clusters, with the difference chance values set for ship minables and
Okay.
FPS minables. I couldn't see the quality with the new inventory with FPS minables. So I have no idea what
Interesting.
quality I had. But for ship minables, I was very similar to you. My average was 300 to 500. In Pyro, in Stanton, the same.
Did you manage to craft anything with any of the minerals that you found?
I crafted one gun in 2 days because I was more focused on the mining stuff.
Because yeah, what I'm really curious about, that because I didn't get to craft anything. I got to see the blueprints and stuff, which we'll talk about as well. But the thing that I was really curious about, like, is it worth even crafting anything with a 400 quality? Like,
Yeah.
or are you better getting store bought?
No, store bought will have 0 addition, so it's
So
always worth
you
it.
do still get the bonuses. It's not like
Yeah.
500 is your neutral.
No,
Anything
that
less
was
is worse.
only
Anything more is higher.
that was only for one of the armors or something. They said they wanted to do was like
Cool.
because they wanted to test like minimum quality bars for some of the armors. But no,
that's
I did
good, because I got very concerned that like every single thing that I was mining was pointless.
Yeah, I did. No.
Okay.
I had 300 average on a P8 AR, and it felt like it was firing at a bit of a faster rate, and it said it went up by like 3 or 4%, something like that, and it felt it. But then I was talking to Tumblerino, who's called into the show before, one of Space Cutlass guys, and they were saying that they were not seeing the difference. So they were using like a base gun and then a non-base gun, and it felt the same. So
Okay,
we'll see. So there might be like a bug there or something like that. I might just like have taken the sugar pill and thought that I was feeling something, but I wasn't. Yes, this one. A minimum quality requirement has been added to a very limited number of recipes, namely the protective sheathing slot of an Antium armor set. For release, minimum quality requirements will be a thing.
Common in many blueprints.
Blueprints, yep. And then I'm looking
Which, like, I imagine, because they say that, and because they mentioned that they want refining to involve also increasing quality of stuff, if it's going to be common in many blueprints, you need that system in place. Because otherwise, you once again get back into the spot of people will not mine anything that's, like sub 500 or something.
Yeah.
Because they can't craft anything with it.
About the blueprints, as part of this test, we've enabled a limited set of blueprints. If you finish just Combat Gauntlet Scenario 1, you get all the Vault blueprints and an Antium armor set blueprint. They're not physical items. It's just reward pop-ups like the event stuff, and then it'll just be in your crafting thing.
Yep, which, awesome. Mission rewards, right? Which in turn theoretically means reputation rewards for blueprints.
Yeah, and Karza in Twitch chat said he was able to craft the Antium set without the minimum. So
Okay.
Maybe that didn't work. It's possible that one of the
Yeah.
tests they tried didn't work, right?
Yeah.
You could dismantle loot. Anytime you dismantle loot, it would be the stock item, not the. You can't dismantle things with paints on them.
Hmm.
It'll come at 200 quality, so nothing crazy, but you get
Interesting.
200
Okay.
quality stuff. So
Still
that's
something.
sort of implying salvaging won't
Yeah.
give the best quality, but maybe you can improve it through a refinery process.
Hmm.
Big thing here. Ship weapons have unfortunately been removed from the first release of crafting due to ongoing work to correctly carry over crafted stats when claiming a ship. This was the only drama I heard around this, and it was
Hmm.
basically just from one viewer of my mind, but he's not necessarily wrong. So we're not losing any stats when we die. It was their thoughts and feelings and fears. Because if we hold on. This is important to stop. Sanctrid in YouTube says you can't dismantle things without a paint? Question mark? Question. Just in this test. Just in this test, guys.
Yeah.
You got to remember, this is tech preview. We're sharing you Evo stuff that we're not even supposed to be, like, we shouldn't even be able to share with you, but they're letting us for some dumb reason.
Hmm.
And you're going to create these speculations in your head of like, oh my God, that's how it's going to be permanently. No, they're talking about for these tests, right? Okay.
Although, yeah, what we're talking about right now, not for these tests. This is, yeah, has been removed from
Exactly.
the release because of this. Yeah.
Exactly. And usually when a new feature comes online, their goal is to uh bring it in parity with the current experience that you have.
Hmm.
So the current experience that we have is we claim our stuff and we get it back. So
Yeah.
I am not in fear of this yet, but I am in
Yeah.
fear of it, obviously. Because
Yeah.
what
We're
is
in
the
fear
point of a
of this
crafting career?
being.
We talk about it every week. What is the point of a crafting
Yeah.
career if things don't die, things don't explode, things don't disappear, and then people craft more of it? Apparently, and I didn't
Yeah.
catch this, somebody said in my Twitch chat, the weapons that you craft do have durability.
Oh, okay. That's pretty
So,
big.
yeah, that's huge. I didn't see it though, so I
Assuming
can't
that
confirm.
durability is working as well. They might have a durability,
Correct.
but it doesn't go down or something. Um, the thing that's interesting to me, I was under the impression we weren't getting ship weapons in the first place for crafting Tier 0. I thought they were very adamant about that it was just going to be FPS weapons and gear.
But we
This
did
this
have
is
the
the
ship
first mention.
weapons in the first
Yeah.
test. We had the ship weapons in the first test. You could craft them.
Okay.
So that's why people are like, oh, damn, they're gone. And
Right.
then you're seeing the like, oh shit, when a ship
Yeah.
dies, they're gonna not let us um do anything, you know, we're not gonna need to craft for people when their ship dies, kind of thing.
Yeah. Ideally, what I want so in that sentence, there's a lot of like load bearing words and stuff.
Yeah.
What I want the ongoing work to be is like tier 2 insurance. You know, like, and that's probably wishing too hard, but like
Yeah, because we need
that's
tier
what I want
one
it to
first.
be. Instead of it being correctly carrying over, well, sorry, correctly carrying over crafted stats is I've spent in-game money insurance to make sure that I get those guns back or something,
Yeah,
rather
but even
than
then it's like the
the real
crafter
money.
just never gets used. So it's like a weird one. I will always fight
Yeah,
for the crafter in that case because that's the job
yeah,
I
for
want to
sure.
do. I'm obviously biased.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was like mostly what I did. This is my first real time using inventory. It's
Hmm.
not any better performance wise in a lot of ways. Like when I open my inventory, it still takes multiple seconds for things to load and I can't tell what those
Yeah.
things are until they fully load in. So that's not great.
Yeah.
But when I'm interacting between inventories and shooting stuff back and forth, it's instant. So that's
Yeah.
good. But you know, they're still doing this 3D holographic shit and it's unreadable.
Yeah, that's
It's not enjoyable at all.
this it would be so much better. The things I liked about it, because I do quite like the new inventory in general. It's a little bit not like kind of the UI itself looks a bit more simplified than the one we have in the PU at the moment.
Yeah.
Just in that it's like less flashy looking. Like there's less like random like black boxes and stuff like that. And it feels a lot more obvious, like your what is it again? Paper doll, which is just you. But all the stuff around your paper doll feels a little bit more obvious about like what gear goes where, that kind of thing, rather than how it would work in the PU. Swapping between different inventories as well as the filtering through different inventories felt way better. Filtering through inventory in live sucks. I hate it.
I'm gonna have to get
especially
used
'cause
to
it
the
gets stuck
filtering,
half the time.
and I didn't like
Oh, for
pages.
sure. But
Because like
I
you
didn't
click
I
on the
didn't
filters
mind
and they stay up.
pages.
Like if I click on one filter,
Yeah.
it doesn't remove the other.
Yeah,
That
and
was the
that
thing.
was not just in the new inventory. That was also in the crafting system too.
Yeah, and the freight elevator inventory. It's been a
Yeah,
constant throughout the process.
which for that one I just think is a bad design choice, because like by default players are going to assume if I click this button that has weapons on it, it will just show me weapons.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
But instead, it's showing you also what you selected beforehand. Now
and
it doesn't matter.
usually
Like
those
you can
things stay
still
above the weapon, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
now I have to click again and get rid of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like one of those, like it's that should not be an issue. That should be able to get fixed very easily, because that's just a classic UI issue that happens not just in Star Citizen. That's like a regular like behavior thing. But yeah, the filtering itself was way better. So yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, I literally crafted one thing. For me, it was all about the mining. This is not even a crafting update. 4.7. This is a mining update.
Yeah.
And
which also
it's got a tiny bit of crafting in it.
Yeah. And important to note as well, because of the requirements of crafting, because like you are right, it is a mining update, but because of the requirements of crafting, and now that we do have specific mineral specific location, you are now forced to go to different places to get different minerals.
Yep.
So you can think about how that's going to work in future. If all of a sudden P4AR is the best ship, best gun ever, that's probably a bad example. What was the mineral that you said?
I don't even know how to say it. Astatite.
Let's assume a gun is using that, and that becomes the big meta. Well, now everyone's going to start clustering around these small locations. Now you've got dynamic interactions between players. Awesome. Because they had kind of introduced this in the past, and I do remember that first. I think it was like before I was
everybody
a co-host
mined
on the pod,
Quant on Lyria.
Yeah, but it was like because there's a 52% quant there opposed to a 49% quant at like the worst place, right? Like the differences were negligible most of the time. But now it's finalized. It's like an actual thing. And it also means you have to go to Nyx. You have to go to Pyro if you want all of these different resources. So I'm glad that is now able to be a part of the game finally.
Yeah, and the Shadow Moses guys like made a whole graph, like they were charting all of the stuff they were seeing. Pyro is meant to have higher quality material, but it is fairly, like when you said the word negligible, that's the kind of feel there. It's maybe like 10, 20% better. So you're like, you are able to find a 900 plus quality rock in Stanton. You are able to find one in Pyro. They both feel about as rare to each other. But so that's something that I feel like that I want to see them dial in, because with what we hear about refining, if I'm able to take the low quality materials that I have in Stanton and refine them up to high quality materials, I'm never going to leave Stanton. Whereas like games that I think do this really well, the like, all right, you're safe over here, but your risk is low, would be like an Albion Online. I've talked about this before, where like there is no PvP in blue zones. 0. Nobody can attack you. Only NPCs. But there is only tier 1 materials there, which are low quality, low value, but are still used to make higher grade materials. So it's very, very important. Think your Veldspar in EVE Online or your Tritanium in EVE Online, right? Those are really, really important, but they're not super valuable. So you have to mine a lot of them to make a lot of money. And then as you go to a place like Pyro, which would be like a black zone, that's your tier 8 stuff. And that's not what they're doing. I would love to see a push a little bit more in that direction. Not exactly in that direction because it's not the same game, but that's what I would want to see.
I mean, but it's not just the quality, right? There are, at least my understanding, even in an hour and a half, so I'll get confirmed, is that there are minerals you can't get in Stanton.
Yes, they're like
Yeah.
Quantanium. Okay, what we don't know is what they're doing with the asteroid belts, because the asteroid belts are all random. But the on the planet listings in the star map, Quantanium is only listed in Stanton planets. There are no planets in Nyx, and you can't see what's in the asteroid belts on those. And in Pyro, Rhycite and Stellaron are the only two that that are unique to that one. And then there's another one in Stanton that begins with an O. It's a new one. OCC something, I think. That's another rare one that's there. So and I only saw that in Stanton. So there's certain ones that you can only find in Stanton that will probably play a big role in this crafting, like you're saying. But majority of the stuff is found in both. But yeah, or you're right, something like that. Yeah, it wasn't OC, it was OU. So yeah.
I'll mention, just because I just remembered it, there's one problem I have with the scanning, which is a classic Star Citizen scanning problem, not necessarily a problem with the update, which is just a wall of white text that I can't read if the rocks are far too close together, and is not remotely helpful in me trying to find what I can find. So
it was even hard to read the quality on the UI.
Yes, although there is like an actual issue there, because there's like text behind it.
Yeah, like the previous test, it wasn't hard to read. This one was.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but overall, very, very excited. But again, it is a mining rework that they are going to say is a crafting, like the crafting update. It is not the crafting update. It is we are tying mining to crafting to make mining cooler, and the crafting update will happen slowly over the next 2 years. You know what I mean? And that's okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Right? It's the resource update. It's
yeah, I would say that if salvage was involved.
It sort of is.
No.
Right? There's crafting recipes that have salvage stuff now.
It's awesome. It's the first connected, I see it in Twitch chat from Fran, the first connected game system, so it's cool. It is. It's just, I know how they're going to communicate this. They're going to put, like, the fireworks are going to go off, we got crafting in. And it's like, people, you're going to set the expectations wrong. I'm just setting the expectations right. It's a mining update. But you could craft some stuff.
Make mining better, but also give me more of a reason to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just set those expectations right. The best part of this update is through mining.
Or it's probably the more appropriate focus, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to enhance mining a lot more than it's going to deliver crafting.
Yes, that is a great way of putting it.
Yeah. Because crafting will feel more impactful when you're, because it's a spaceship game, when you're doing spaceship stuff. Not necessarily making the spaceships, but the spaceship weapons, components, things like that. I think that's when you'll really start to feel mining crafting make an impact, because it'll use more material than these small things. People will be less likely to do it because it uses more material and you'll have to mine more. And then they'll start asking for help from people in the community. And I think it'll start to matter. So,
especially because, like, even with FPS gear, like, if you're PvP would probably be the best example of when, upgraded items, when they're going to matter. But, like, the encounters that you have in FPS PvP, let's say at a CZ, still come mostly down to just, like, who gets the drop, right? Yeah. Is like way more important than do you have an extra 5% fire rate or something like that.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So that is it. That's what that's the experience I had. I had a great time, mostly positive. I don't have a lot of bad things to say. They just need some work, and hopefully we have PTU soon.
This will keep me busy. This in a 4.7 patch.
I'll be mining all day, every day. Music in the background, talking to chat.
I'm just gonna want to try to make Yeah, one day I might make a P4 with like 600 material, but then if I see some 700, 800 material, right, like I'm gonna want to keep going and try to get the best that I can over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have people selling. Like I see this in Twitch chat as well.
Hmm.
UEX is gonna explode with people crafting, want to sell, and want to
Yeah,
buy orders for certain quality materials. Like, dude, it's
certain
happening.
not just materials, certain weapons, like because I
Yeah,
assume
exactly. Like
we
they may
can
not even
give
want to
those
craft.
weapons to people,
Of
like right,
course,
like
of course.
yeah,
So, because again, the insurance isn't changing. We're not getting T1
yeah,
insurance. So it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be T0. So you have the
hmm
weapon. So long as they don't do any of the exploits for you to drop that weapon, you're going to keep that weapon
yeah,
forever as long as you don't mess up.
hmm
So yeah, very excited for all this. Like
yeah,
this will be the most I play Star Citizen most likely is this patch.
hmm
And
for sure.
more along the direction of like not finding a ton of 900 plus quality stuff means
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a lot of searching. A lot of searching.
What is the lowest material quality you found? Because I was very proud of myself today.
28 or something?
I found a 2.
Damn. Yeah, I found it double digits. I never found a single
Yeah,
digit.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was very.
Badass.
It was like the third rock I found too. It was like a 2 quality copper. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm getting this just because I want to see what happens when I try to put this in something.
Nice. Nice. No, just like 28, I think was my best
Yeah,
one
yeah,
or worst one
yeah.
in that case. But yeah, very exciting. Hopefully
Mhm.
not more tech previews. Hopefully more
Well, yeah, I
4.7
imagine
PTUs.
like where they want to do the patch next month. This is. I mean, this doesn't feel like it needs another tech preview, right? Like the.
If this is what they're
I
going
I would.
with,
Yeah, I could see them ship it to live, quote unquote. Like, yeah, give us some tests and whatnot, but like, I don't think it needs any major reworks or anything for it to be ready now.
no. And like you can put the material on a ship cargo grid and the
Yep.
crafter will craft from that as well.
Hmm.
So like you don't even have to do this in a station. You can literally like mothership content, boys.
Yeah, the
Like
the
there's a
Idris
lot of
factory is real,
yeah,
right?
like there's a lot of things this will bring online. I never checked the clipper if the clipper worked. I doubt it because I think it's just
Probably
in
not.
this thing. That's it for now.
Yeah,
But the that's huge. That's huge. That's very cool little. It's mostly RP, right? But that will be one of those. You know, I said like when you're actually doing it, that's how it feels immersive. That's fucking
yeah.
immersive. That's sick.
Just give us the ship refining so we can be completely independent. Like Idris with a prospector, an expanse, something else, I don't know, whatever, and just turn it into a factory.
Yep. And
Yeah,
you never land at a station ever again.
yeah, exactly.
Respawn on the Idris,
Hmm.
refuel on the Idris, refine the fuel on the expanse,
Yep.
right? Craft the armor, ammo. We can't craft ammo, unfortunately, but you can always loot that. And yeah,
And also, presumably soon, they've got like the tabs and stuff for it, just no blueprints for it.
yep.
And maybe that's why we still might see like one more tech preview, is just for some more blueprints. But
There
even
we go.
then,
They might keep it pretty limited, I think, for the
yeah,
first one, and I think that's the right thing to do.
okay.
Just keep it simple, baby steps. That's something
Hmm.
that they want to do a lot of, baby steps, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay
Yep.
with baby steps. I don't need to craft everything yet. I need crafting to work and be fun and make sense. Do it slow.
Yep.
Do it right. Please. Please don't fuck this up. They will. They'll insurance will get me. I know it's gonna get me, but
Yeah.
all right, you want to go to some callers?
Yeah, let's do it. And if you want to call in the future, if you're watching on YouTube, go into the description below, head to the podcast link and go to the green room in the Discord. Hang out there and yeah, we'll talk anything and everything. And today, obviously, we're talking about crafting, we're talking about SCL, and we're talking about, I mean, Atmo. If
If you want, yeah,
if that tickles your fancy, yeah.
if you were awake.
No, I wasn't.
It was at a weird time. All right, we'll bring in our first caller though. It's Sharkbite.
Shark
Our
Bite, how we
regular
doing?
first caller.
You there?
I thought
Can you hear me or no?
can you where
It
are you?
really, yeah.
I'm in my house. Can you not hear me?
Okay.
Okay, I hear
Yeah,
you
I can hear
now.
you much better now. It sounded like you were in a tunnel
Okay.
or something.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, is it
You-
not going through my
You're good now.
Bluetooth? That's probably why.
You're fine
Yeah,
now. You're fine
you're
now.
fine now though.
Okay, cool. So as far as going back to the very first part, you guys were talking about refueling.
Hmm.
I think that's going to be one of those things, more like Mike was saying, with the sustained logistics stuff when you're doing like holding a space station when we get to that point, or if you're
Hmm.
doing longer term battles where you need to have your fighters go out, they're going to use their hydrogen fuel, come back, refuel, and that's going to be more of that mechanic. But yeah, right now we're not using most of our fuel when we're flying around.
Yeah.
Unless you're racing, will sometimes do it. Some of the smaller snubs definitely need refills a lot more frequently, like the Furies. But yeah,
Yeah. I
um,
mean, you're
Yep.
definitely using your quantum fuel, but other than that,
yeah. As far as the ships that they've been releasing without testing, yeah, that is like even if you were just to say, okay, we're gonna take one person. I don't know if you care if you use it out of Evo or whatever pool, but like have one person sign an NDA, or if they're in Evo, they've already signed an NDA. Have them run through the ship, and they don't know they're the only person testing it, but have
mm,
them look for the bugs and then pull them out, have someone else go in. But that way, you know, like every person that you send in and when the leak happens. Um, if they're worried about leaks or whatever. Because I can go
I
into a ship and touch all the handles and open all the doors and make sure that it's not buggy. But yeah,
Bro,
I
you
don't know.
I
should
mean, for
probably
stuff like
try to
the
salvage with the
yeah,
salvage ship, and you would have seen that it didn't work.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Like, dude,
It's yeah.
that was a
It's also
bad one.
like the for like the moth. I don't think it matters. Like they had so many sneak peeks coming through. We knew what it was. They had
Yeah,
Mhm.
the
exactly.
videos with a new challenger appears, or like what's that
What's
Pokemon,
that?
right, with the moth and
Shippymon.
stuff.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
and it's not like they haven't done it in the past. There have
And
been
they released
ships.
Lamp right before it.
Yeah, yeah. That oh wait, I just that's terrible. I hate that. Um, uh, why would you do that? But yeah, it's not like they haven't done it
I love Lamp.
before. Like there have been ships that have
Yeah.
like not released, and that but they've like tested in like the week before an IAE or whatever, right? The people have
When
gotten their
was
hands
the
on
when was the
the one
last
that
time we
I
had a ship
remember
come out
because I think it was like the first
without
one.
bugs? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. This is not without bugs, but like the one that I remember distinctly them like letting people test before it came out was the mule. I specifically remember the mule because everyone lost their mind about it and it was in
Hmm.
PTU. Um, but like you can just do it if you and especially if you are like I don't think there should be concerns about leaks stopping them from doing that even publicly
Yeah.
to test this stuff. If anything, people like you're hyping it up more. People are still going to end up buying it because people aren't going to bother
Yeah.
going into the PTU, but then they see people who are like checking out the ship, and then
Or people
like
see it in the
3 days later.
PTU and then they go buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 days later when it releases, people know what it can do, assuming it's working.
Hmm. Yep.
And then they do want to buy it. So I just it really doesn't make sense to me. They may have data that like says the opposite, but that doesn't make me feel better. So
Yeah. Um, so far, the most that I've actually spent time in the tech preview, did a little bit with the
mhm.
inventory. I still don't like the 3D hologram, whatever inventory icons. Images would be better. Please make them flat images. Um,
They're not
but
going to.
I
It's
know
just not.
they
Yeah.
changed the makeup system so that, and
Oh,
they fixed a lot of the bugs in the character creator. So the makeup system's
sweet.
a lot more like the sliders with the skin
Mhm.
texture, and then you have more advanced options for like each of the colors and how you apply them. You can, I think, apply the opacity differently per each color now, so it gives you a
Mhm.
lot more flexibility there. So yeah, hopefully that character creator comes over with 4.7. Um, I don't remember if the current tech preview is on an old build or not, but it definitely isn't the build that we have currently because we still have like
Yeah.
missing modify nodes and stuff. And I guess last thing for me was, I don't know if you guys saw this article, but the AWS blackout that happened back in December. Now they're saying it was because someone left on autonomous mode. They left AI to make changes to their settings, and so that's why a quarter of the internet went down.
Sick.
Yeah,
I love 2026. I'm a huge fan
yeah.
of
So yeah, I don't know if that was the same thing that happened yesterday or not, but yay.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Anyway,
All right.
yep. That's all for me. Still making
Yep.
faces for people. Appreciate you guys. Croncy, you did great announcing. So
Thank you. I appreciate that a ton.
yep. Okay, you guys take care.
You too.
Catch you, mate. Have a good one.
All right. I just for people in the queue, I did rotate it. Johnny said his kid's coming home, so he's got to go earlier. So I'm swooping him in ahead of you.
We should
the
still
candidate.
get to everyone.
We'll get to everybody though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Johnny. How we doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. What do you want to
Doing
talk about
fantastic.
today?
I'm surprisingly awake, actually. I think it's because I had a nap right before the podcast. I did my 1.5 hour of testing, slept for 30 minutes, and then woke up.
You know what the secret is?
Nice.
Apparently, sleep for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah,
That is a
that actually
very
does help.
specific number.
Yep, 6 minutes.
Okay. Interesting.
Quick little power nap.
Yep.
I'll talk about the crafting for sure. I
Sure.
haven't played it obviously, but from what you guys are relating to me, it does sound good. I myself won't do crafting, but I'll engage in mat collection. So I will go and mine. I will.
Plus, you're
probably
going to want
refine.
some of these items from people, right? Because they are better than what you can
Oh,
get
exactly.
store-bought.
But I'm really hoping that they do the socials, and I'm glad to hear Brandon was on it. Right, we got that confirmed at your event, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
His number one priority. I think that was Chris overhyping it, but it really does need to be there.
Chris has 800 number one priorities.
I know, that's the thing. I'm just like, okay, but really nice. See, the positive attitude, all that stuff, really great. Crucian was freaking awesome. Really appreciated him. Love his energy. So it was a nice event to watch. I watched it actually on Mike, your channel.
Yeah, I assume Crucian just bumps 4 lines of coke before every event. Dude's crazy.
I do like where they're going though. The mining changes and stuff like that sounds really good. Leading into crafting, if it does allow the customization, that's great. But I'm really hoping the social layer is there for it. Is the social layer is the big question for me right now. If they don't put in some way for me to find people, either it's going to be an auction house, which makes a lot of sense because then every shard can be unified under an auction house versus stores, which
or at least
means I have to go to your shard. Yeah, well, I'd have to go to. If I wanted to buy from you, I'd have to go to the Australian shard from my understanding basis right now. So going to be interesting to see how they link everything there. Really big on the socials. That's the biggest thing. This crafting is cool, but if they don't link it into the socials somehow, so I can find, Mike's is crafting really high quality stuff because people are feeding into his org really high quality mats, which are really hard to find. And again, this is driving us all to multiplayer gameplay. So they really need to invest in that. That's the only thing I'm a little worried about, is that the socials won't
solo.
really
Yeah.
It still feels like all their tools are for 50-person servers, but they have 600 people. My God, during that event, I was I'm shopping around for orgs right now. So I just joined someone who was saying, hey, come join us. So I joined this, not the org, but I just joined them for the game. And they they were doing the mass invites for people just to grind the missions for Alliance 8 or whatever. So I sat in it, but by the none of the stuff worked, right? It was just way too behind. By the time I was accepting missions, people had already done them. Right. And the invites and all that stuff, none of it worked for a 600. It was just ridiculous. It was fun, but they kind of ruined the game for me because they gave me $1 billion and now I have every ship, and I was grinding for ships. Now I'm waiting for the wipe. I just bought everything after that. I didn't really care. But this is
I want to
adding more for not to do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just want to add like two things to a couple of things you said, which is like the first one of like the needing the social tools. We have talked about so much that the past year, UEX comes onto the scene and explodes because of all of these unique things that they brought into the game that are exchanged for Wicklow. This is all the same kind of stuff. Like wanting a really good P4, a really good set of anti-arm armor, whatever, is going to be something that people want to spend in-game credits on, and until social tools come around, that's going to be UEX. So it needs to be an in-game. It needs to be an in-game tool. It just has to be, because it's the way people are playing the game right now, right? And to a second thing, all of the like minerals and stuff we need to get for the blueprints that we're going to have right at the start. Yeah, it's all solo gameplay stuff for the most part. I would love to see them start putting some of these some of the blueprints require items from like the Valakar, the eradicated Valakar fangs, or do any of the blueprints require Karenite, Mike? Have you seen that?
No, not that I'm
Yeah,
aware
but that'd be
of.
great. Do that, right? Like have Karenite be one of the things. Put some stuff at the bottom of the Onyx facilities that can only be acquired there.
Right.
Or have like a chance. Introduce, like, you've got these really awesome gameplay loops that came around last year. Put some in CZs, right? Like introduce all these as being able to give some of these items to encourage that gameplay would be great. And maybe that doesn't happen in 4.7. I think it's going to happen eventually regardless. But like even just a few right now would go a long way to getting you the better picture of what this might end up being.
Like I want to sell my blueprints because I don't actually want to
You can't.
craft myself. I know you can't right now, but that would be nice eventually and stuff. But...
just sell your account.
But overall, I like the direction. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
It is a complete game loop, so it is actually kind of cool right now, right? Like so.
Yeah.
I also think you're going to craft, even though you say you're not, because like where you said you're like, I'm gonna gather material. The step between gathering the material and crafting the material is so minuscule that I don't know anybody is gonna do much, at least in this current iteration, gonna do much crafting for others. But they will buy material from other people.
That's true.
Yeah,
right? I guess it depends on the blueprint.
No, it's not even the blueprint. It's the like, where's the friction in the gameplay? There is no friction with crafting itself, but there's tons of friction with finding the material to craft, right? So where players are going to get engaged with each other is only on that, not on crafting.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that was it for me. Really, I just wanted to I like the direction they're taking. Things are looking interesting, making reasons to go to Pyro and Nyx, etc., and stuff like that. Distributing out the resources more so that your high sec security is lower reward, etc., and stuff like that. That's great. I like that direction. So overall, it feels good. I'm hopeful, but
are good.
Tentative.
I mentioned my concerns, right, about like I don't know if I like that the like rock by rock is like a lot simpler now than it used to be. But if I lose that and gain all of these extra things, I'm pretty happy, I think,
Yeah, I didn't like that anyway with mining, so I'm more with Mike on that. It's a lot better just to like, it lowers the dead time in mining.
100%. Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, by a significant margin. But all right, Johnny.
Yeah, that's better. Thanks. I appreciate the time. Thank you guys. Awesome podcast as usual.
Man.
Cheers.
Appreciate
Thanks
you
for calling in.
Bye now.
Have a good one.
Thanks, man.
All right, next caller. The Kennedy. Is that the way to say it? The Kennedy? I think so.
The Kennedy?
The Kennedy? Welcome
the
Kennedy.
The Kennedy.
He's going to have to tell us.
Muted.
Hello.
Hello, we hear you. How do you say your name so we say it right?
The Kennedy.
The Kennedy. Okay.
Yeah, Kennedy. It's like cannabis and candy put together.
Oh, got it.
What is cannabis?
What's cannabis?
Cannabis.
Oh, cannabis.
What is cannabis? Describe it.
Weed. I work at a dispensary, so.
Okay.
I could tell by your voice.
Yeah.
You sound like one of my friends from college.
Ah, yeah. I'm going to school for cannabis health sciences. So,
Hell yeah.
Cool.
but how are y'all doing today?
Good, good.
Solid. Yeah.
What do you want to talk
Yeah.
about?
So I have a couple things written down.
Mhm.
So one, the rocks being one mineral are great. I totally agree with Mike on that. It saves a lot of the time and having to actually search for the material, and it's
Yeah.
more like about mining
Mhm.
and being able to see things from a lot further with the signatures. That's awesome. Makes again finding things a lot better. And then caves, being able to see the caves now, especially with there being
Yeah.
like aphorite and some of the material crafting stuff. Being able
Mhm.
to actually find a lot of that easier is great.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair,
Uh,
I was on Microtech. I swear it's like 90% aphorite on the surface of Microtech. So if anyone's looking for that,
yeah,
there you
there's
go.
a lot more on the surface now too in a lot of places. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the vault
Um,
weapons, just to let people know, didn't take just one gem. It took 3 now.
Mm.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it
I
was
haven't gotten a chance to get the blueprint for that yet. I was
Okay.
testing it out when I was
Janelite,
doing it, and
Padanite, Dolivine, I think, or Janelite, Aphorite,
Oh, as
Dolivine.
in 3 different
okay.
ones, not
Oh,
Yeah.
it's 3
Yeah.
different
Okay.
ones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Something like that.
okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, and that's really all I have to say about mining. I wanna get more into mining now. I don't do a ton of it. I need
Mhm.
to do more. Uh, in regards to the inventory, um, the filtering and searching is great. Uh, a lot better being able to filter things directly inventory a lot better.
Mhm.
I will say it is a little too bloated on the tab. I agree with Mike on that. There's so many tabs to flip through. The weapons and gadgets being split between 2 different tabs is actually a little bit jarring. That was a little weird. I don't know why that's not the same tab.
Mhm.
Um, and then in regards to mining, I was buy a little bit before I was buying gadgets to go mining, and the gadget slots for mining is broken. The one that's on the bottom of the backpack, there's no slot for it, like
Right.
in the inventory. So if you put it on your backpack, it's stuck on your backpack. You can't take it off
Mm-hmm.
because there's no
Interesting.
physical interactivity with the character anymore. So it's not great.
Oh, wait. So you can't, because I didn't
You
check
can't
that. You can't drag your stuff off your.
you can't
Uh.
physically interact with the character at all anymore. It's only the
Huh.
UI. And that's another thing is I
Oh,
hate that.
that's gonna
It's
be
Why is the
horrible.
buggy.
character
It's not
there?
great. Yeah, it's not great. I
Yeah,
would
but
love
that was
them
a.
to bring that back as well as with the bubbles, because that's what I actually liked about the old inventory.
But also,
Because
like, that was a way to fix so many inventory bugs.
you can't do it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not
I'm a
great.
bit scared now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great. Um, and then if they added a loot all button. I don't know if you
Hmm.
saw that it wasn't working exactly, but the way they described it, it sounded like it was a vacuum button. That doesn't sound great to me either. To just walk around and be able to just vacuum everything up in your inventory.
Yeah.
This game is so stupid sometimes, man.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like they
god.
add all this physical interactivity for like the immersion, and then
Yep.
now we're
It's
just
like the,
gonna walk around vacuuming things. Like it's like the complete opposite.
it's like they make the game in a vacuum where like no developer that works at this company is allowed to look outside of RSI. And
Yeah.
and what Chris
It
Roberts
feels like
says,
that
like it's
sometimes.
crazy.
Yeah, it feels like that sometimes. Uh, and the proximity looting is a little bit too large. You can loot things from really far away.
You can even
They
loot
need to
things
turn
through
that down.
walls, and that's like a known
Yeah,
issue and stuff. They said
yeah,
that.
yeah. I know it is a known issue, but I don't know that. And the item kiosks being in the like proximity felt a little weird. Like, why have the interact with
Yeah.
it if you can just
Yeah.
open it?
I wonder if they can just make it like, because it's the system itself isn't too bad. If they just made it default when you interact with it, opening up that inventory rather
Yeah,
than just opening up your regular inventory.
yeah, yeah.
That'd be
Something like
fine, I
that.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Um, and that's really all I have to say about the inventory. And then
Hmm.
I wanted to move on to crafting.
Okay.
Yep.
I was testing a lot last night with the dismantling of
Okay.
the FPS weapons and the armor. You
Yep.
can dismantle both the armor and the weapons, and it gives you 200 quality
Yep.
materials. So
Were you
I
going
don't know
like
how I feel
looting
about that.
NPCs and doing it,
No,
or
you can just buy it from the shop and just start dismantling in your hangar,
that's
Okay.
weird.
Does that
and
mean
That is very much like
then
Evo
start crafting
testy,
stuff.
where
Yeah.
obviously it's not ideal to like buy it from the shop and then turn a 0 quality thing into a 200 quality thing. That sounds exploity as shit. The
Yeah.
obvious
I mean,
idea
even then,
here,
200 is still really low, right? Like
it
the
is.
majority of the rocks I was finding were like
Yeah.
300, 400.
You
so.
found a 2. You found a 2.
I found a 2, but
Okay.
that was not
Yeah.
common for
No,
me
no,
to find
I
that.
know.
bad.
I just a good reason to
Yeah.
point out that you found it too. But
Yeah,
the obvious thing would
It-
be like, I go to bunkers, I loot the stuff, I salvage it. Like
Yeah,
that's obviously what they want us to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just feels a little weird that it's also the shop thing. It's like I feel like they should do something about that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems broken.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
sorry. Someone in YouTube, you're probably just about to say this, said that it takes 4 dismantled C-54s to make a C-54.
Yeah, it does give you a little bit less,
So it
but
gives you
it
25% less.
yeah,
Well,
you
75% less.
can
Well, yeah,
but you could
25%.
take that
Yeah.
and use that towards something else, maybe that
Yeah,
you
of
needed.
course. Yeah.
It's just a little weird. Um, and I did notice that the increase on the stats seemed to be very low. I was crafted a suit and it gave me 1 degree increase of resistance to the weather. So
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, but that's because
What
like
quality
10
level?
degrees
Did he
difference is
say?
like
I
can be
think we
pretty
used
crazy.
like 3 to like 400 quality, so like it wasn't
Yeah.
terrible quality.
That's
Yeah.
such a small percentage, but we got
I
to
did
see
hear
what the
that it
900
goes up
plus does.
exponentially.
Yeah.
So
We got
I
to
didn't
see
get
what
to
the big
test
boy stuff
900. We
does.
never got to find any.
Mm.
Yeah, I never got to find any of that.
It's hard. It was hard to. Best I saw was
Yeah.
8 something, 870.
Yeah.
Never
yeah.
even
We took
saw a
forever
9.
just trying to find Aslerite. Aslerite
That
wouldn't
was my
spawn.
Yep.
mistake. I spent the whole day. Okay, guys, I set my alarm at 3:00 in the morning every day since this test went off.
Yep.
And I spent all my time trying to find that, not knowing that to look in the asteroid belts instead. I was trying to go
Yeah.
on the planet's surfaces.
Yep.
I wasted
Yeah,
so much
somebody-
time.
Yep.
And then somebody said in the chat, "Try the Aaron Halo," and we're like,
Mm.
"Damn,
Yeah.
we should have done that."
Yep.
Yeah.
And the crafting machine that you can buy from the refinery is broken. You have to use the one
Yeah,
that
I
they
saw
give
people
you.
talking about that.
How is it broken for
So-
you? Because the only issue I ran into is that when I wanted to have the gun pop out of the door and feel immersed, it doesn't, and I just have to send it to my inventory.
Yeah, that's what was broken is like the
Yeah, so
tray
whatever.
has no interaction whatsoever. So like you
Yeah.
can't and when you were trying to dismantle things, I couldn't pull things from the inventory. It had to be put directly on like the tray. So that kind of broke the dismantling.
Okay, so it breaks dismantling completely, something I didn't try.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of an issue, but hopefully that's fixed. And that's really all I wanted to say. It's great to talk to y'all, and you here.
Great to talk to you too, man, and thank you for some of
Yeah.
the insight, because I did the same thing as you, so we needed to crowdfund some information because I wasted so much time.
We
I spent a lot of time in this
looking
test, but I just didn't spend a lot of time
looking for Aslerite.
Yeah.
Yep.
just looking for Aslerite, dude. That's what I was doing, because I was like, I really want to craft armor, because we weren't able to craft we weren't really able to craft armor in the first playtest. So it was like that was the new experience I wanted to have, and I just didn't get to have it yet.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
will do
that's
that
what I
today.
was like. I wonder if I could break down an armor piece to then maybe try crafting an armor piece, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
to
this
get
isn't
some
great.
Aslerite back.
Yeah.
But yeah, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Y'all have a great day.
You too, man.
Yeah,
Be
thanks
good.
very much
Thanks
for
for
the
your call, man.
Have a good one, mate.
That was cool. I think he was a first-time caller. I don't remember
I
him.
believe so, yeah.
All right, our next caller is Wrath.
Wrath,
are
how
you
we
there?
doing?
Hello. How is it going?
Howdy.
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Okay, perfect. This is my second time of being here. First time with Croncy, so nice to meet
Hello.
you, Croncy.
Howdy.
I have like three points of discussion that you have. The first one is pretty clear to sum it up. Is regarding the engineering.
Okay.
Since the release of engineering, it's practically non-existent, or am I wrong?
Engineering does.
Yeah, no,
that. Yeah.
it feels like there's been nothing. Like it's practically useless.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's not here. So
Yeah.
kind of it's kind of a bummer for that. But I think as everything that is like T0.
Yeah.
I think
it's
like
kind
engineering is a gameplay loop that like it requires there to be enough reason in the game for you to need to do it. And so the way that people play the game, if they're not being interdicted constantly and they're not having to worry about damage to the ship constantly, well, not necessarily constantly, but far more than they do now,
yeah,
then
exactly.
they're just not going to bother repairing. They're just going to take their chances that they're going to be fine, and they probably will. And then the chances that they're not fine, they'll just take the hit to the 20 minutes of like resetting up.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of sad because it should be like the role for the major role for big ships aside from being the turret guy or
Yeah.
the pilot. So let's see where
The only
going
thing
to
to
evolve.
say on that is that it's been weird that there are no updates to it, and there's been 2 patches since it's we'll see what's in 4.7 is what I'll say.
Yeah, exactly.
If they
Consider
do
that it's
4.7 and then don't do anything, it's like, yo, what the fuck is going on, guys? What are you doing?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Consider that it was like hyped up as a big thing. It's really strange.
Yeah, very strange. So definitely worth pointing out, but worth really pointing out when we get a 3.7 PTU.
Yeah. 4.7.
A 4.7.
The other
I keep
thing was
saying
regarding
3.7.
3.7 is when I
yeah,
started playing. That was a while ago.
That was when hand mining came out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
long time ago.
Yep.
The other thing was regarding crafting, since I did not have access to the tech preview.
Okay.
And was about when you craft an item, you just put the material inside and you get like a weapon, or need to craft a mid component to, for example, to craft the item itself. For example,
No.
like you need to craft before, you need to craft before a barrel component, a stock,
so
and so on.
It tells
or,
you are crafting the stock, like the stock requires this, the barrel requires this.
Yeah.
But it is just you're making the gun.
Here. Can you see the stream?
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds and I will bring up the example. So if anybody else is confused, we can help with that too. I just need to find the right thing. Boom. Bam.
What I will say while Mike is getting this up, I do want that to exist for ships. I don't think it necessarily needs to happen for like small guns and stuff.
Not
if you
for
have,
everything, but
yeah.
Because sorry, Croncy. Because the system is really heavily inspired from Star Wars Galaxies, right?
Yeah.
And in that game, the crafting has a ton of mid components that you need to craft to a certain item. Those mid components are also used in several crafting recipes, not just one.
Yeah, 100%. That's
and also
I'm agreeing.
And also, some of these components do not. If you use high quality material, it doesn't matter because it doesn't
Got it.
affect the the crafted item, the final crafted item.
Yeah.
And this comes up to this part of the quality part, where what's the use of low quality material?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
But even low quality material improves on the base weapons that we have now. So there's that.
Yeah, but why, sir? I mean,
we don't know. We know that there might be a way to improve quality. That's all we know. But hey, if you could see the stream now, take a look. What I'm showing now is pretty much exactly what we have in the game. It's just uglier in the game right now. It'll say the frame of the gun or the barrel. For us, it's a little bit different. It's like barrel, wiring, and stock or something like that now.
Yep.
And it'll just say aluminum makes this, copper makes that, and hadonite makes this. So you don't actually make the midway item. I hope we do start making midway items. Maybe not for guns.
Direct
like
from refined to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope
I would like that in ships,
in
right?
ships,
Like you need computer hardware or something, and that is made with ABC regular minerals or whatever. And then in order to make an Aurora, you need 10 of that structure or whatever. I think that's a lot more interesting, especially those midway components. I was talking before, like I would love to see some crafting materials be in like these other locations. Those kind of midway ones would actually be kind of a good one to do, right? It's like, cool. You get to skip a step, but you're not like completely locking people out or something.
Dude, this is what I'm just starting to do in EVE Online is hey, we spent this whole time without saying it until now, by the way. Last caller. we almost got away. That's what I'm doing now is there's a Star Citizen player that's our huge cap ship builder, and he, it takes in that game, it takes a ton of characters to be able to build something like that because you can only do so many jobs at one time, and a capital ship takes so many of these components that they were like, hey, we can use the people in our corporation that want to just start getting into doing industry to do the small stuff for us. So I'm making auto-preservation seals, just one item of like a list of 30 for this guy. And I'm making that one piece of that puzzle, and it feels good. I gave him the first 5,000 the other day.
And I almost guarantee, just quickly as well, just to add on to that, almost certainly, assuming their plan of us building Bengals, which was their very far off plan, at the end
in
of
a space station, Croncy.
In a space station, yeah. If that's the plan, we'll be building those mid parts for sure.
I hope so. But that's not going to happen anyway, so let's...
Although imagine it is just, can please bring 10,000 SCU of titanium, 10,000 SCU of astatine.
That's what it'll be, dude. That's literally what it's going to be, because that is an MMO. Can I carry all of that myself in one ship? Probably not. Then
I'm more just saying, I want it to be... Instead of, when someone just said like 60,000 SCU of iron.
Yeah.
No, it's like 5,000 SCU of iron plated armor.
Yeah.
5,000
Exactly. Got it. Yeah, definitely.
Depends on your bank account, Mike.
or the time you have in the game and your ability to exploit or whatever.
Also true.
Your duping abilities. So it'll be cool if that happens. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is like the part about like that's why I say it's a mining thing. Like this just doesn't feel as crafty just yet. It's there, but it's the simple stuff first, which they should be doing it that way.
We've unlocked our tutorial blueprints. That's all it is.
Exactly, and then you can layer this till the end of time from here. Right? Keep it simple at the start, and then you can just add those layers. It doesn't need to have the depth yet. You need to figure out what your depth will be.
Yeah, exactly. Also, from a balancing perspective, mid components can help to tune out the amount of materials required and so on, instead of just having from refined to
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do like
complete item.
alloys and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just
And
learned
also
what an
give
alloy was
purpose to
yesterday.
and also give purpose to the low quality materials, or like mesh them into another kind or whatever.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Awesome.
Anything else, Wrath?
That's all from me. No,
Okay.
that's all from me.
Lovely.
All right.
Awesome. Well,
Be
we
good.
appreciate the call. Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
call.
You too.
Have a good one, mate.
Thanks.
Bye now. All right. So that was the show. Still super hyped for this test. It's just set those expectations. Set those expectations. Simple crafting, pretty cool as far as the resource gathering goes. Wish salvaging was part of it. I prefer salvaging. So I wish, but I think salvaging is going to require a bit of depth to get interesting. So I think it needs a little bit more time. So I'm glad they went with mining. Mining's their best loop currently, and they just made it better in some ways. Potential to make it worse. We got to see. We just got to let them know. Keep letting them know. Hey, like the big conversation from a lot of the people who mine in the Evo feedback section was you lowered the skill ceiling completely on mining with what it currently feels like. So make sure you don't do that when you deliver the finished product here.
Yeah, the ceiling. Yeah. Like
the floor is
floor
great.
can still be as low as you need it to be.
Yeah.
But give people that sort of that chance to kind of impress themselves at the later stages,
Exactly. Shout out to El Guapo on YouTube. If you guys ever see his videos, that guy is we say he is mining because it's just like a character and stuff. Super super cool. And then obviously like we raid Red Monster and stuff like that. Like those guys,
which I was gonna say, it's
need
probably about the time we're gonna have to do another big mining pod with a lot of these changes.
I mean, the moment 3.7 comes out, we should probably bring him on, to be honest, and do our thing with him because a lot has changed. A lot has changed. It's for sure. That's a good idea. First planned pod of the year then.
Yep.
But all right. I am fading faster than you are now because I think my blood sugar is going down because my body is like, where is my 6 pounds of sugar that I need to function every day? So I need to eat something. And I guess we'll leave it. So make sure you subscribe, check us out on YouTube and Twitch. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We need more subs here. We had some goals last year, and we didn't hit them. So we need a little help. We know you're not subscribed. YouTube doesn't really ask you to if you watch a lot of things. Just hit the damn button. All right? I'm talking to you. You know I am. Hit the button. Because it makes us just feel good. That's really all it does.
Yeah.
Hit the button.
And don't you want us to feel good? It's getting a bit weird, actually.
That sounds weird. Also, I think most people would rather me be upset than happy. So no, they're not going to hit the button now. They're literally unsubscribing at the moment.
Oh, God, we just lost 1,000 subs.
I'm sorry. All right, guys. But also, don't forget.
Answer the call.
Tired one.